Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Detroit Become Human. I am Circle Master, and joining me once again today we have the lovely and talented Valorie Curry.
Hi.
Or are you going to argue with me about being lovely and talented?
No, I'm just laughing that was probably the first and last time I've ever been introduced that way by you. But thanks. And I'm Valorie, and I'm going to immediately say his name because Circle Master is just too weird for me. That's what you call my brother. That's bizarre. Hi.
So it was a dark and stormy night, and we're here to see what we can do about this horrible drugged out person.
Oh my God, we're still in the house.
You're still in the house. So what I should have done before I started recording was look up this actor's name because I don't remember it anymore. But who plays Todd?
Yeah.
Yes, I met him briefly. He actually did most of his stuff with Audrey by themselves. But yeah, he's great. He's terrifying, isn't he?
Well, he certainly does a good job of portraying this character as somebody you really want to hate.
There wasn't much in the kitchen. I did what
And
Totally.
I'm sure in real life he's not like that, or is he? No.
It's Dominic is his name, by the way.
Dominic.
No, I had no desire to hate him. No, he's very good at using his energy. Like he's a big guy with a lot of presence and a lot of energy. He can turn it on. He's super intimidating.
I lost my job because of androids. And I need somebody.
So you didn't do a lot of scenes directly with him?
No, most of the stuff that I did in the house, I did on my own.
Go out and hire a fucking android.
But like I said, Audrey did a lot of this by herself with them.
What a joke.
I think I shot for one day with him. I think maybe two.
Of course, androids are so fucking wonderful.
Now there's
Fail.
not much left for us to do at this point.
They're sad.
I know. It's like, is there something to clean?
No, we just have to listen to Dominic rant about,
That's Todd ranting. Dominic would never.
well,
And I'm just gonna reach out and say, because I know that you're playing, so you can't see it, but hi to everybody who's watching right now. Thanks for watching. Thank you for joining us with your comments.
It's easy.
I'll be calling them out and answering them here.
It's my fault. We live in this.
yes, just because my computer's not catching fire doesn't mean that I'm able to look at the Twitch chat, so that's all on your hands.
Only so many things at a time.
Todd, sometimes you really scare me, Todd.
Oh God, he's screaming,
Fuck off without a
he's
word.
swearing.
Fucking whore walked out on me.
Well, this is an M-rated game.
It's all your fault.
Daddy,
Well, that makes sense.
Fucking fault.
It is for sure. So, David, tell me, because you've played this before, right?
I have played this before. If you're about to get into something that would spoil future plot points, I'm gonna say no.
Not at all. But David Stewart does want to let you know that the game audio is kind of loud and it is drowning me out. So I will definitely point that out to you.
Well, as I mentioned, that is going to be something taken care of in post.
Don't you dare fucking move.
Got it.
So,
It's worse than last time.
So David Stewart, it'll be better on YouTube.
yeah. I'm sorry to those watching on Twitch, but I have the audio set so that I can rebalance things later for the YouTube version.
Got it. So this is a watch again for a play again kind of game. No, the question I was going to ask you, brother David, as opposed to David Stewart, although I'm totally interested in what you have to say as well, David Stewart, is just like what you felt about Todd and sort of this thing. I know this was the one that has like I think a lot of reaction from people in terms of it being kind of territory that hasn't really been dealt with in this way in video games before. So yeah, like what did you think about Todd and Todd and Alice and all that?
Well, now I'm the one who has to avoid getting into spoilers because my thoughts about Todd in this moment were wildly different than my thoughts about Todd at the end of the game. But
Well, what I mean is
my thoughts
at
about
this
Todd
point,
in the first moment was,
Yeah.
I know where there's a gun.
Well, yeah, exactly. Oh, and speaking of which, there's the gun.
You've unlocked
I know.
gun.
That's enough.
And I know I'm kind of like 30 seconds, a minute behind you. Oh shit. How many people who watched this got the gun? I'm curious right now.
We'll find out at the end when I do the
I
stats.
want you to leave her alone.
Oh, I mean like the people watching right now.
Oh,
What?
that I don't know.
Oh
What
shit.
are you gonna do?
I look taller compared to him in this point of view.
We have a problem.
Well, you look taller than you actually are relative to Dominic.
Yes. Yes. I'm smaller than everyone. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, I'm used to
Uh-oh.
that because you're my little sister.
What's he doing? Oh. Yes, android reflexes.
Also, my reflexes. I'm doing the QTEs here.
I remember being very like I had a lot of questions about the fact I was like, why isn't she programmed to like do any kind of like fighting at all? Like she knows like every written language on the planet, but she doesn't know how to like defend herself. There's no self-defense programming,
Well-
and that in itself tells you a lot.
On the other hand, if
As I said.
there's supposed to be, androids that you can do whatever to, and they will just obey orders, do you want them to be able to fight back? Or do you want to just, take some stress out on them?
Well, no, clearly, like even if that was a program, he would turn it off. But it is annoying. It's
But-
something that I have a question in later as she becomes deviant. That is my thing. Is like, why does she not have the ability to? Oh shit! What happened? Did she shoot him? She shot him.
Of course.
Maybe dead, but definitely severely injured.
He done got.
Yeah, come with me, child. I'm covered in blood.
No one will suspect that this is not my blood, which is blue. I will just tell them that I spilled spaghetti.
Get on the bus. Get on the bus.
This is where we find out, wow, this is a really short chapter when you just shoot Todd.
Yeah, that was really well. I think it can go longer if you don't just shoot Todd immediately.
Oh yeah, this
obviously.
is the point of the game where your choices can actually make the chapters go significantly shorter or longer. Like, for
This is what happens
example,
in the second playthrough, yeah.
for example, there was somebody that I know who, when they were told not to move, they didn't move, and they never even saw the break free prompt, and they just died.
Wait,
And that was the end of Kara.
What happened? Did he just came over and murdered her? That was it.
Yeah, it was like he went upstairs
Oh, shit,
and
man.
they had Kara stand there and not move, and eventually it went to a cutscene where Kara was upstairs and Alice was already dead, and Todd kills Kara.
David, because of the choice you just made, you just have the world's shortest.
Yeah, look, it's right here.
Play video.
I actually went back and played through it myself just to see it, and it's one decision.
You're like, when we're pressed for time, here's a 4-minute choice.
And then I want to know what this is that can also lead into Todd kills Alice. But
Oh yeah, Todd can kill Alice. I remember. I mean, yeah, obviously I remember shooting all of these versions. It's dark, man. That's real dark. Todd can kill Alice, and then it's done. Because that's the thing. Is like if Alice dies, Kara's done because that was her purpose.
the thing I wanted to ask about that I didn't get a chance because it happened way too quickly is like during those button prompts, when you were actually, or when Kara and Todd are getting their wrestling on before gun happens, like how is that filmed? Is that like roughly the same as on camera work where it's like you're on camera or stunt people on camera? Or was that weird because of the motion capture?
I don't remember, honestly. I don't remember if we shot all that, because I did some stunty stuff with Dominic. There was one like where he sort of like chokes her against a wall, that we did that, but I don't remember if we did that sort of like wrestling scenario or if that was with stunt doubles. We did have stunt doubles who shot stuff separately from us. But that stuff all happens just like on film. It's why the hardest thing, one of the most annoying things about shooting this is how often Kara hugs Alice, because we're both wearing Velcro suits. Every time we'd hug each other, we would literally just get stuck and lose markers all over the other person. So it was this like thing to try to figure out how to like touch other people or hug other people without losing your markers, which is why maybe sometimes they look a little stiff. So it would have been the same thing there with like with him on top of me or whatever like that. It would have been the same. I just don't remember specifically if we did that or if the doubles did that, because that was a long time ago. Yeah, I know.
So, so this is already over. Wow.
Sail enter? Is that how I say it? Yeah, that was a lot of possibilities in one chapter, and he didn't do any of them.
I did the right one.
Well, arguments to be made, but I appreciate the immediate turn to violence. But yeah, well, that made for a short chapter.
There are so many things that I want to ask you about this later once other things in the story happen.
Well, you can ask. Do you guys wait? Are we seriously still in like spoiler world? Because it's been a while since the game came out. At one point,
for the sake of my thread, I have asked for no spoilers discussion. I realize that we're in a world where this game has a lot of exposure and a lot of people have played it, but I want to go through it.
Oh my god! Spoiler: Kara hugs Alice a whole lot.
Yeah, what a shock. Okay, but no, there's a lot of things related to this.
The other David, thank you, David Stewart, 1987. I'm assuming that's when you were born, maybe. Thanks, and the fan reaction's been like. Been amazing. It's been totally overwhelming. It's incredible. I like realizing how global this game is and this sort of phenomenon is. It's incredible. Yes, you were born in 1987.
I just want to point out that 43% of people did the right thing. Anyway,
why do you think shooting Todd is the right thing?
I'm mostly just having the fun.
Having the fun.
Yep.
Got it. So David,
I don't know.
By having the shortest chapter.
It's
like, how do I make this game go as fast as possible?
It's not how do I make this game go as fast as possible. It's, when your options are pretty much fight or flight. In this, again, I don't want to get into spoilers. Oh my goodness, there's so many things I want to talk about.
That's not spoilery.
No, I mean for future stuffs. Oh, I can't talk about it. You know what? How about we just
a confrontational approach to gaming as opposed to a diplomatic approach? Strategic?
No, because when I played casually, I tried to do the reason with Todd thing. Which is up here, as you can see, unlocked, but not pursued in this branch.
The wrong choice. That's obviously ridiculous. Reason with Todd.
This is the little tiny branch of diplomacy that this game offers, and everything else is fight or flight.
Okay, flight is probably the most effective Kara technique for this game, then, isn't it? No, sometimes diplomacy works, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, that's more on Marcus's side of things than Kara's. Although I guess it does come up sometimes in Kara's.
Yeah, she has her moments. She learns how to talk to people well enough to talk people out of things or through things. Uh-oh. Katho Kai does not think that it was the right decision. Todd,
again, we're going to get into that much later in the story.
Do you like that I'm just, because you can't read the stream, I'm letting you know who agrees? who disagreed.
Well, what a shock! People don't agree with me. I'm so used to that.
It's okay. Coma Beast really likes Alice shooting Todd, which is like super dark.
Don't put a child through that. That's wrong. I'm
I know
gonna,
this
I'm
child
gonna say that
hasn't this
Alice
child
shooting.
been through enough.
I'm gonna say that the Alice shooting Todd one is like the most wrong, other than they all die.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that one.
I mean, you could make a case that this path here, this 2% Todd kills Alice, you can make a case that that's not the most wrong, but I'm gonna say that's the most wrong. I'm gonna go out on that limb.
Oh shit, that one happened real fast. That one's even faster.
Oh, this is the one where you don't go upstairs, you never break out and become a deviant, and you just get got instead of Todd getting got.
Wait, hang on. So if I don't become a deviant, which I don't know how that happens. Oh, that's Todd kills Alice. I thought that was Alice kills Todd. Sorry, I'm getting so confused. Yeah, Todd kills Alice makes things go.
There's so
fast.
many potential murders here.
There's so many permutations of murder. There is a real debate going on as to whether or not Alice shooting Todd is horrible or sweet justice, as David Stewart 1987 says.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
How do you fail to become deviant? I guess
It's when you
Circle
fail to become
Master's saying
deviant.
is you do nothing.
Yeah, when Todd tells you don't move, just don't touch the controller, and you will never get the big red screen to break out and become deviant, and you will just stand there, and Todd will
So
go
you kind of have to
upstairs.
become deviant. You have to be inherently deviant anyway, because if Todd tells you what to do and you do what Todd says, you won't become deviant. But it's a very chicken and the egg scenario, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on how much you want to roleplay an obedient android versus how much you want to save a little girl.
Yeah.
But in any case, that will do it for this episode. We've
Well,
spent like half of the
super
runtime of this episode
fast.
just staring at the menu screen because we've went through the chapter that quickly.
We did not go through the chapter that quickly.
We, as a collective audience to this LP, went through this chapter that quickly.
I want you all to know that he included you in that decision making and how fast that chapter went. All right.
I didn't say anything about decision making. I said collective audience.
Catholic, I completely agree. That's what I'm saying. Being able to make a choice is inherently deviant. So it's like the idea that you make a choice, that it is opposed to what your master is saying, and then you become deviant doesn't make sense. If you make that choice, you become deviant anyway, right? Right. Whatever.
Wait a minute. So if any choice... Wait a minute. No, I want to get into this now. If any
God, it's
choice
philosophical.
makes you deviant,
No,
then...
it's a choice that is, if you have the ability to choose, but B, if you choose to do the opposite of what you were ordered to do, isn't that deviant anyway? Isn't that already deviant?
Doing something that you were not ordered to do is arguably deviant, but just making any choice at all is not, I would argue, is not deviant, because at that point, you could be, like, take an android, and its owner says, make dinner, and the android says, what do you want? And the guy says, I don't care.
That's
the
different.
android now is free to choose what to prepare for dinner, and I would argue that was not make the android a deviant.
But that's a different kind of choice, David. That's options, as opposed to the idea that somebody orders you to do something, but you inherently believe that you have the ability to choose whether or not to do the thing. If that, freedom is there, then you're already deviant, right?
Arguably, yes.
Yes, I win. Also, somebody says I sound smart when I talk fast, so win.
So talk faster, I guess. I don't know.
I can't.
But-
it's impossible.
But if that was the case, then that means that the only deviant robots are the ones that we play, because it is our player agency that allows us to make choices.
Sure. I don't know where to go with that.
Well, this is why I wanted
It
to
did.
end this like 5 minutes ago.
It escalated real quick. It did.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's that for. I think that's the Dark Knight. No, not like the Dark Knight, but Dark
Stormy Night.
or whatever. Stormy
Stormy
Night.
Night.
Not the Dark Knight. Different night.
Yeah, more people die in the Dark Knight.
Yes. Well, debatable. I guess it depends on how you play it, David. All
Wait,
right,
how?
cool.
How would you play this chapter of this game so that more people die than in the entire runtime of the film The Dark Knight? Because a lot of people die in that.
You're right.
Like
You're
5
totally
people
right.
get shot in the first bank robbery scene.
I don't know what to tell you with that one. There's only
I
so
don't-
many people you can kill in this chapter. You're totally right.
I don't know. Why are we even having this discussion? Anyway.
Because we're filling time for the fact that you played that chapter in 4 minutes. All right,
Anyway.
guys. I think that's where we come to a poetic end.
I want to thank you for the 4 minutes of your time today, Valerie, for joining me as I shot Todd.
As you shot Todd. Thank you for allowing me to win you shooting Todd.
I don't even know how to close out this episode anymore.
Bye, guys.
Until next time,
I
take
did
care.
it. Bye, guys.